As many of you requested, in this video, we're going to get clear on the distinction between emotional immaturity and narcissism so that you can stop second-guessing yourself and start responding with clarity and confidence. Hi, I'm Karina Aybar, psychotherapist and coach, and I make videos about setting boundaries without feeling guilty, emotional regulation, parentification, and generational trauma recovery so that you can understand why you feel the way you do and how to heal with compassion and practical tools. Have you ever left a conversation with someone feeling completely exhausted, confused, and maybe even feeling like you are going insane? You know that there is something off in the dynamic, but you can't quite name it yet. 1 minute you think, I guess they're just a bit childish, they're immature, they don't know any better. And then the next you're wondering, am I being manipulated? Am I dealing with a narcissist? Are they a covert narcissist? So many of you ask this question, and that is why if you have ever felt this way, you are definitely not alone. This confusion is one of the most common things that people I work with struggle with in relationships. They bring it up a lot and they wonder because they are puzzled dealing with these type of behaviors. And it's not your fault. The behaviors on the surface can look almost identical, but underneath the motivations are worlds apart. And knowing that difference is the key to protecting your peace. So why is this so hard to tell apart? It's because both an emotionally immature person and a narcissist can be self-absorbed, defensive, and lack empathy in key moments. When you try to express your feelings, both might shut down, get angry, or somehow make it about them. Both will struggle to take accountability. From the outside, the impact on you feels the same. Your needs are not being met. You feel dismissed. And the relationship feels incredibly one-sided. But the why behind the behavior is the most important piece of the puzzle. One is driven by a lack of skill, and the other is driven by a need for supply. So let's break that down. Think of an emotionally immature person as someone who is emotionally stuck at a younger age. Their emotional development was arrested. They're stunted, often due to their own childhood environment, where their feelings were not nurtured or allowed. And as a result, they didn't develop the skills to navigate adult emotions and relationships. Their core driver is avoiding emotional discomfort. They have a very low tolerance for frustration. When they feel overwhelmed, they revert to childlike coping mechanisms, tantrums, shutting down, blaming others, or denying reality. And it's not necessarily that they want to hurt you, it's that they are so consumed with managing their own overwhelming internal state that they have no capacity left to consider yours. You see, their selfishness is a byproduct of their emotional incompetence. For example, if you bring up an issue, they might say, I can't deal with this right now, and walk away. Or, why are you always attacking me? So they get very defensive. They are trying to stop their own bad feelings, and your feelings are collateral damage. Narcissism, on the other hand, isn't just a lack of skills. It's a personality structure built around a fragile sense of self. To maintain their grandiose self-image, they need constant external validation, or what's often called narcissistic supply. Their core driver is extracting validation and maintaining superiority. A person with narcissistic traits sees other people not as individuals with their own needs, but as objects, sources of admiration, attention, and use. The lack of empathy here is profound. They don't just struggle to see your perspective, they often don't believe it, and they don't think it's valid or even exists unless it serves them. Their manipulative behaviors are often a tool. They will use tactics like gaslighting, projection, and darbo, which is deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender, and more on that in my previous video on how to handle manipulators. Now, they do this to control the narrative and keep you destabilized. The hurt they cause isn't just collateral damage. It is often the point, because keeping you down ensures that they stay on top. Now, this brings us to the single most important distinction: capability versus motivation. An emotionally immature person often lacks the capability to show up for you in a mature way. When confronted, their primary fear is of being overwhelmed by their own feelings of shame or inadequacy. If they had the tools, they might choose to do better. There's a can't at the root of their behavior. You see, their motive is avoid their own discomfort. Empathy is limited by their own emotional overwhelm. When confronted, they become defensive, they shut down, they may feel genuine, but they flee and then feel remorse later. The core fear here is feeling inadequate or ashamed. Now, a narcissist, however, is often highly capable of understanding social dynamics, but is unmotivated by your feelings. Their primary motivation is to protect their ego and secure supply. Their actions are calculated to serve that end. There's a want at the root of their behavior. You see the difference? So let's go over this. A narcissistic motive is to protect their ego and secure supply. The empathy is absent or performative, used to manipulate. When confronted, they gaslight, they project to blame you, they darvo you, and there is no genuine remorse, only anger at being challenged. Now, here the core fear is being seen as flawed or ordinary, which is a narcissistic injury. So ask yourself this question: when you express hurt, does the other person seem overwhelmed and inadequate, or do they seem offended and vengeful? Please sit with that and do not rush this answer. Pay attention and keep track of the behaviors and make sure that you take care of yourself in the process. Because knowing the difference is not just an exercise, it completely changes your strategy for how you engage. With an emotionally immature person, there can sometimes be a path forward if they are willing to grow and seek support and take accountability. The strategy involves setting very firm, clear boundaries around their behavior. You might say, I am happy to talk about this when you can speak to me calmly. I will not engage with you when you are yelling. You are holding a boundary with the behavior in the hopes that they can learn a new skill. Now, with a narcissist, the strategy is almost always about self-protection because their behavior is rooted in a fundamental need to control and extract. A boundary is not seen as a request for respect. It is seen as a challenge. Expecting them to change is often a recipe for more pain. Your boundaries here are less about teaching them and more about protecting you. This might mean less contact, managed communication like the gray rock method, or in some cases, no contact at all. Ultimately, you cannot control whether another person grows or changes, but you can get clarity on what you are dealing with and what you are willing to tolerate. Confusion thrives in the gray areas, but your healing begins in the clarity. Differentiating between someone who can't meet your needs and someone who won't is the first step toward reclaiming your energy and your reality and who you choose to engage with. Now, I hope this has been helpful, and if this resonated with you, please subscribe for more content on healing from difficult relationships and growth. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. So what was one thing in this video that helped you connect the dots? Let me know. I read each and one of them. Now, I will see you in the next video, and please remember your resilience.